All right, y'all. So we've made it to Birmingham. This is the church. The tour hasn't started yet. We're just waiting on the tour guide and the bus and everything to get here. But this is the church where the children, where the little girls were downstairs. This is the church right here, y'all. Wow. This is history, showing up history. Isn't that something? And this is the downtown area of Birmingham. Okay. But this is the church. Isn't that something? So, I don't know if we're going to take a tour inside of the church. Like I said, we're early. We're supposed to be here at 9:45, but we came from Tuscaloosa. See the sun? So, we wanted to make sure that... Alright, y'all. So, these are the original... This young man was telling us these are the original windows of this church. Y'all, it's always something. My camera is full and I can't delete anything because what I got in my phone, in my camera, is part of my vlog. And I didn't bring my computer because I didn't want to be lugging all that stuff on the plane and having to pay all this extra money. I just didn't want to do all that, so I just brought my camera and not my laptop to download stuff. So yeah, so this is still part of the church. This is on the outside, and let me show you all. I'm gonna be talking real fast and I'm gonna be cutting off y'all because I want y'all to say we're still waiting on the bus to come. This is the...
I've moved to Tuscaloosa.
This is one of the
you trying to show me something?
No, I'm showing him.
Huh?
These are the girls, the little girls' names that was in the church at the time that this happened. Sunday, September the 15th, 1963. Okay.
I pay $1,200 a month to live where I live.
Okay.
We not the first black drugstore, 6th Avenue, 5th Avenue was our street. East was our street. Black business.
I hope y'all can see that or not.
See that brown building across the street?
Yeah.
You turn right apart, that's 4th Avenue.
This is it, y'all. This is the church right here. And that's one of the civil rights buildings, art museums right there, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm actually standing up on the church's ground. I'm up. See? Wow. This is something. This is really, really something, y'all. To be actually standing on the steps where Martin Luther King was, and not only that, where those babies were killed. This is really something for me. It really is. To be on the steps and standing up in there like that. It's really nice. Really, really, really nice. I was up there. Wow. Wow, y'all. These are all the kids that was in
these boys was not
the boys
in
weren't in the
them.
barn.
right.
2 hour quarter bomb, the white officer gunned them down.
2 hours to gun these two boys down
That been saved.
before the bomb.
That's the 5th girl that was in the barn, they don't tell y'all that.
Right.
This her sister. She lived, she blinded by the bomb, still living today.
Right.
She come in and bring me peanut butter crackers and water every 2 weeks.
Wow.
So last week I told her, man, I'm tired of peanut butter crackers, lady. I eat chicken.
Look at that. These two little boys were gunned down by a white officer before the bombing happened. They didn't tell us nothing about that, y'all. That's what he was telling
Look
us.
at her little shoes.
Wow. Those are shoes.
This is our black street.
Yeah.
That shows you guys the hotel across the street for black girls.
All right, y'all. So what you're looking at now, these are the water cannons that they were shooting at the people, that the water was coming out. This is what this is, and this is showing you them turning away and kneeling down at it. Now, we haven't even started the tour yet, y'all. There's just so much to see. I'm trying to get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but this is what this is, okay? Like I said, those are this is the cannon that shot out the water onto the people. Look at that. Wow, that's something. Okay, y'all, so. Y'all, this is the tour guide here. He's telling us about where we are. So I'm just going to film just a little bit of him talking.
He designated this a national park, protected area where you're standing today. So that you're really standing in the Birmingham Civil Rights National Park. So if you have your passport with you, you can actually go inside the gift shop in there and you can stamp your passport as being in a national park. It's kind of neat when we go over to Bethel Baptist Church, we're going to show them that. Tour. All right, now remember this is a historical tour. Okay, it's not Birmingham, Alabama today, although like everywhere we could always do a better job, right? But
Can I see that again?
So the neat thing about that window is the people of Wells, they didn't want just a few rich people giving towards the window. And so they limited the amount of money that each person could give.
But there is a stained glass window right there in the middle. You got his arms stretched down.
It's kind of a neat thing here at 16th Street Baptist Church. Now, right here in front of you, that is 6th Avenue North. 6th Avenue. I want you to picture this being in April and May of 19. So,
yeah, these are what they call poll taxes.
Be gentle with them.
Back then,
and
this
just
is
give them
what
back
this
to me
is,
when
yeah.
everybody's seen them. All right,
Wow,
that's what you would
look at
get when
that.
you would pay your $1.50.
Pay your dollar to vote.
Now I saw a picture of one the other day online where a lady here in Alabama had paid $3.
Thank you.
So what did that tell you?
She did that.
She owed it. Owed it there, didn't she? So, all right.
So we're on the tour bus now. Y'all, there's a lot that he's covering, but I can't videotape it all, so I'm just gonna, so you'll get bits and pieces. So I won't run out of footage. Okay. All right. So we're on the bus now. All right.
One way the wrong way. That wouldn't be good for us. But in your mind, just picture them. Picture them marching up the sidewalks of 6th Avenue over to City Hall, which is where we're going. Okay. Now this would have looked totally different back then if you look at it on top of it. That was your old Greyhound bus station here in Birmingham. It's not the Greyhound bus station anymore, but somebody bought it and remodeled it. Whatever they turned it, I'm not sure what their plans are for this, but they did a good job of fixing it back up. So the Freedom Riders attacked. It was supposed to happen at that Greyhound bus station right there, but it did not happen there. It happened at another bus station here in the city. And when we get to the 60s on the tour, and it'll take a while, I'll take y'all to where that attack did happen here in Birmingham. Because you're in the central part of the northern side of downtown Birmingham. So we're going to get out here, we're going to walk into the park. Y'all watch your step. Getting on.
All right, y'all, this is Central Park. Y'all really have this video chopped up because I want to try to cover everything, okay?
Over to City Hall, that's where those marches would end, right there in front of this building here. So that's the very building they were marching to. It's been added on to a couple of times here. That's City Hall. Over here through the trees. We'll walk over there and talk about that building here shortly. But you'll see a lot of doors and a lot of windows over there, right? This part of the tour, that's the municipal auditorium, all right? And so in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, if you were a city here in the South and you wanted to show everybody you had made it, that you were an up-and-coming city, okay, you'd build a large auditorium like that, seat several thousand people. That's Birmingham's version of that auditorium, all right? Through the trees over here to my left, you can barely see it with all the leaves, but over there you see some white brick. That's our Museum of Art. Some beautiful things in there. after the murder of George Floyd, we had protests here in Birmingham, Alabama. During those protests that night, the protesters, they came over here and they tore down Charles Lynn's statue. Charles Lynn, he was a captain in the Confederate Navy. So he was a blockade runner for the South. So he would load his ship up in Mobile Bay with cotton, sail across to England, sell the cotton, and bring back weapons and money to the Confederacy, whatever, to the Confederacy. So that's why his statue was torn down here in this park. Now, this park will not be Lynn Park very much longer. It's scheduled to be renamed. Right? Reverend Shuttlesworth is one of the names that's being put out there for this park to be renamed after. There's some other names also.
Okay.
Question, why was it changed from Wilson to Lynn?
Okay. That's what it was looking like before they tore it down,
sure.
yeah.
I mean,
I told you we're going to have a change of government here in the 60s. We're going to finally try to get rid of Bull. But she held progressive views on equality and race. And she was elected to the new Birmingham City Council here in 1963, which abolished all segregational ordinances here in the city of Birmingham. And in 1965, she was the target of a bomb left on her front porch that fell.
Wow.
We're going to talk about bombings here in the city, but that was in 1965. She was an attorney here in the
That's
city.
when I was born, y'all, 1965. Don't have to that tick, baby. You better stop playing with it, Emma. Come on here, y'all. Yeah, a lot of this you're not seeing because it's a lot, and I want to try to get a lot, but a lot of the, I'm not gonna say main thing, because all of it is main. All of it is important, but you can't get all this on one vlog. You can't get it because I'm gonna run out of space. I'm gonna run out of storage, so I'm just getting little pieces of this tour. Look how pretty that tree is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at that color. Wow, so pretty. All right, y'all. So now we're getting ready to get back on the bus. And like I said, you're gonna see clips and clips of me, of things of this tour, because I can't get it all, y'all. So I'm trying to get as much as I can on this tour. So yeah. So okay, I'll hit y'all back.
Fire protection. Black neighborhoods weren't given any of that. They were given low-lying areas, which were flood-prone. They were given heavy industrialized areas, which were polluted. No police, no fire protection. But after World War II would come to a close, we would have a population boom here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as African Americans moved up into the middle class and got better jobs, they were looking for nicer places to live. And those areas where they were allowed to live were becoming more and more crowded. And so as they moved closer to white neighborhoods and then into white neighborhoods, that is when the nickname of Birmingham will become Bombingham. Now there are many nicknames for the city of Birmingham. The city of trees, the city of churches, the magic city, which is how fast Birmingham grew in a certain period of time, and then Bombingham. And so while we're going over here to a community called the Smithfield community, if y'all look straight ahead where that guy's sitting over there, you'll see the sign at ground level that says we're in the Smithfield community. But the area we're going to, the nickname is Dynamite Hill. Parker High School. That brick structure you see right there only goes back about 20-25 years. But the origins of that high school go back over 100 years to when it was Industrial High School. Industrial High School is where you'd go to learn a skill or a trade if you were black. So early 2000s. Over here on your right, that's Smithfield Court. Housing project here in the city of Birmingham. In 1938, when Eleanor Roosevelt was in town, she visited this housing project when it was a modern form of urban housing and development, still used today here in the city of Birmingham. Now, we were talking about football just a minute ago. If y'all look over to your left over here, over the library, through the trees, you'll see a large football stadium over there. That is historic Legion Field, football capital of the South at one time.
So from the 1920s to the early 1990s, the University of Alabama Crimson Tide played all of their major home football games in that football stadium. So anytime Alabama played Notre Dame, Southern Cal, Penn State, LSU, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Auburn, here straight across from the bus, behind this telephone pole right here. Okay, 1949, African American family, they buy that lot. Now legally they could buy the lot, less legally they could build the house, legally they could not move into that house. Why is that?
On the white side?
It's on the white side of the street. So they take it to court. Courts will come back and rule Birmingham's laws are illegal. So the city of Birmingham throws up its hand and says, fine, we don't care, y'all move in. So a few days before Christmas, 1950, the Monk family, M-O-N-K, they're going to move in that house over there. Now, the way bombings were done here in Birmingham, they were like a drive-by shooting. Everyone familiar with the way a drive-by shooting works, okay? The Klan would have a bundle of dynamite with a fuse. They'd roll the window down, light the fuse, throw the bomb out the window. The bomb would land where it would land, do the damage where it landed, okay? And so, Monk family move in a few days before Christmas, 1950. That night, the Klan's going to drive by. They're going to throw a bomb out of the car, and it's going to land on the very right corner of this house over here. If you look at that last downspout off the gutters there, down towards the ground, you'll see the brick is much more red down there, and up higher, much more red, less clean, less uniform than the brick on the left side of this house, which is much browner, much cleaner looking. So the bomb's going to land there, right there around that small bush. It's going to blow that end of the house away. Now, no one was injured in that bombing, and the Monk family would build that end of the house back and continue to live there. That was 1950 here in Birmingham, Alabama. Across the street, March 1965, 6 bombs placed throughout black neighborhoods here in Birmingham, Alabama. One of those bombs was placed at this church. A man running late to Mass pulls into his parking spot, sees a large box blocking his way, gets out of the car, picks the box up, sets it on the sidewalk, looks inside. What does he find? Bomb. Around 50 sticks of dynamite.
Wow.
This one with a clock, with a timer, a real bomb, set to blow at a certain time. And so they will rush inside the church, and they will call the police, who will call bomb technicians, who will drive an hour to Birmingham, and they will defuse this bomb and the other 5 bombs on that day. Now, you're familiar with the Selma to Montgomery marches. There were several attempts, right? The last attempt, where they march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge and spend the nights on the sides of the road and march all the way to Montgomery. The day and the time those marches are to start in Selma, that is the day and the time the bombs are set to start going off up here in Birmingham. So whites here in Birmingham knew what was happening in Selma, Alabama, and wanted to send a message. This was March 1965. Does anyone want to get? Can anyone remember the year I said 16th Street back? Arthur Shores carried a small pistol with him in his suit pocket every day of his life. He had a handgun in the glove compartment of his car. He had numerous handguns and shotguns throughout that house to protect him and his family. His oldest daughter every night would get up out of her bed, go to the guest bedroom, pull a large handgun out from the dresser drawer and put it under her pillow, so afraid something was going to happen to her husband. And there were 3 bombing attempts against this one house. One of those bombings was in 1965 and was defused. The other 2 bombs, they did go off up here, did damage his house. His wife was injured in one of those bombings. Now, we'll talk about those 2 bombings at the end of the tour today. Now, Arthur Shore's youngest daughter, Barbara, she still lives there today. Across the street, this side of the street would start transitioning to black in the early 1960s. And in 1962, Colin Powell, he got married in that church right there.
Wow.
He married a woman
That's
from
something.
Birmingham, and that's why he got married in that
Yeah, that's
church.
the church that Colin Powell got
He's been
married
in the
in.
news here lately.
Isn't that something?
Passed away.
Check it out.
So if
Sweet.
you're feeling lost in the city of Birmingham as we talk Dynamite Hill, if you look over to your right, you'll see downtown Birmingham or the skyline. But really what I want to talk to y'all more about is this interstate system.
Wow.
All throughout the United States, you hear of interstate systems cutting through minority neighborhoods. It's not unique to Birmingham, but here it is in Birmingham, Alabama. You go in the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, there's a piece in there on it. But they used to, but you can see where it would come right through minority neighborhood here in Birmingham, Alabama. It used to be a minority neighborhood over there where the interchange sits. Over here on our left, we're going to talk about some land over here on our left behind this chain link fence. Behind that chain link fence there, they used to set a house before the interstate came through. It was bombed one time by the Klan. To the left of that house down by the interstate, well, before it came through, there was a house there that was bombed 3 times by the Klan. The back of it was burned down 1 time. Everyone see this large white gray brick wall over here on our left. If you look closely, you can see a house peeking out from behind it. Why do y'all think that wall is there?
So
you're gonna do a drive-by?
There you go. Think of the arm strength you'd have to throw a bomb out of a car window over that wall. You probably won't see another house. Houses, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he would come and stay with his family when he was in Birmingham. And so Jeff Drew, the son, he and his wife live there today. Jeff talks about, sometimes Jeff will just come out and get on the bus and talk. He talks about living in a favorite house up here. This is the childhood home of a woman named Angela Davis.
Oh, okay.
The Angela Davis, part of the Black Power movement, the member of the Communist Party, was one of the first women on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. She was acquitted of that crime, and today she's a professor out in California. But she can remember when the windows of her house used to rattle when the bombs would go off up here on Dynamite Hill. Another lady that grew up here during the Civil Rights movement was Condoleezza Rice. Her father was a pastor here in Birmingham, Alabama. But she can remember the bombs here in Birmingham, Alabama. Here in Birmingham, Alabama. One night around 50 sticks of dynamite were placed at a basement level window at the temple in downtown Birmingham. But if you believe in divine intervention, it rained that night and the fuse was put out.
See?
And that temple still stands today. First group, there was 60 churches here in the city of Birmingham, and that's one of the places that they would meet on Monday nights. Over here on the left, this is Cherry Tuggle Elementary. Mrs. Tuggle, an African-American lady who in the late 1800s, early 1900s, she took care of homeless black boys and girls here in the city of Birmingham. And so that's why the school's named in her honor, and there's also a monument to her in Kelly-Ingram Park. Then down, if you look down Red Mountain, you'll see Vulcan standing over there on his pedestal looking over the city. He's the largest cast iron statue in the world. Stands on a 120-foot pedestal. He's about 60 feet tall. But in that mountain over there is everything you need to make iron. So that's where your mines were. A lot of people ask, why was dynamite so easily, why did they use dynamite here?
Y'all, this is still part of the tour.
I'll stand down here and talk to you. You get a really good view of Bethel from here, and I'll tell you the significance. Yeah, go on here. They'll come out. No. I'll tell you the significance of this house here. And if you don't feel comfortable standing up there, y'all can stand down here. It's up to y'all. I know 8 people. It might seem a little crowded up there.
I just like to about this house
here on this side. All right, so welcome to historic Bethel. So let's talk about Reverend Shawsworth for a few minutes. Reverend Shawsworth, he grew up during the Depression era. He grew up in a very violent South. He grew up in a very violent home. His mother and stepfather would fight constantly. His mother lost an eye in one of those fights. Now, Reverend Shawsworth, he was born in Mount Meigs, Alabama, which is south of Montgomery. His family's going to move to Birmingham when he's a young child, and he's going to stay there in Selma, and then all of a sudden he's going to find himself pastor at First Baptist Church, Selma. That was a big deal. That was a big church. Now, Reverend Shawsworth, when he becomes pastor there, he runs into issues right off the bat, quickly. You see, that church had always church. Now, when he becomes pastor here in '53, he runs into those same issues here that he did in Selma. You see, Reverend Shawsworth, he is known to publish what you would tithe or give in the bulletin each week. He was known to take children off the rows of the church if they didn't get regularly to the church. Now, look, we've had people on the tours through the years, they go, well, my church still does that. One lady a couple years ago goes, now I know why my mom gave me a dime to put in the offering plate every Sunday so I can stay on the rolls of the church. Now look, none of that's to denigrate Reverend Shuttlesworth or talk about one of those.
No, that's Reverend
Shuttlesworth
Sharpwell.
says, no, I want to start my own group. So he's going to start the Alabama. Reverend Shuttlesworth says, not my group, we're a Christian group. We're going to do these things in a Christian manner, in a non-violent manner. And then Reverend Shuttlesworth says, look, you can stop an organization, but you can't stop a movement. But one of the first things Reverend Shuttlesworth wants to do is integrate buses here in Birmingham, Alabama. Everyone familiar with the name Rosa Parks. It's on that bus in Montgomery in 1955, all right? Courts will come back, rule Montgomery's laws are illegal. That only applies to the city of Montgomery, Alabama. It didn't apply anywhere else. And even if it did, this is the way cities chose to operate back then. You go to the city, you complain about the way seating's done on the bus, the city says, well, we don't have that law anymore. We leave it up to the bus company to decide how seating's done on the bus. So you go to the bus company and complain. The bus company says, oh, we don't have that law anymore. We leave it up to the bus. It's going to land right here between the church and the house.
Wow.
If that bomb goes off, it will blast
This used to be
Reverend
his house.
Shuttlesworth
It's
out
just
of
a
his
frame right
bed.
at the front.
It will fly across the room, crash into the wall, crumble to the floor. The roof of the house caves in. Porch caves in. House shifted off its foundation. Now the people of Collegeville, they know what a bombing sounds like here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Right.
They all rush down here. They see the shape of Shuttlesworth's house, and they think the worst.
Yeah, but he's not.
But what do they see? They see a man walking out of the rubble,
Get out.
and it's Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth.
Wow.
These people now think that this man
It's
has
a
been
ghost.
sent by God
Yeah.
to save Birmingham's soul.
Wow.
Now the Birmingham police are down here. They see the shape of Shuttlesworth's house, and they see Reverend Shuttlesworth standing out here in front of his house. And they will walk up to Reverend Shuttlesworth and they will tell him the same thing they told every black family whose home had been bombed in Birmingham, Alabama. You have 30 days to fix your house up.
Oh, wow. Get out of here.
Reverend Shuttlesworth says, I'm going to leave it this way.
That's
I
right.
want people to see how America is.
Right.
The next day, December 26, 1956, Reverend Shuttlesworth's group, the ACMHR, they will integrate buses here in Birmingham, Alabama. 250 of his members will board buses that day, including Shuttlesworth. 20 plus of his members are arrested that day. And that is the start of the modern civil rights movement here in Birmingham, Alabama. And it all starts down here with Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth at Bethel Baptist Church.
Wow.
Now the church would find the house too expensive to repair and tear it down. Reverend Shuttlesworth would move across the street to where y'all were standing earlier.
This is the church,
That
yeah.
would be a
And his
second
house was
and
right next door.
Second parsonage. So I like to start my tours over there because I just like to stand on his front porch.
Oh, that house is history. That house is history.
Church today.
It's not active now?
Not active, no ma'am.
Wow.
Now Reverend Shuttlesworth's house, I told y'all this was a protected area, so money has started to flow into this area. So that house, if you've been with me 2 years ago, that house was falling in. Y'all can see how nice it is today.
Wow.
It's supposed to be turned.
This is history. That's why it's not lived in.
Now sadly, you don't see a lot of people that come down here. And it's really a sad part to me. I mean, we do tours every day. You see,
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog right here. It's a lot more we're going to see, but I'm not gonna have the storage to film everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off and end this vlog right here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me through my vacation. Truly appreciate it. You all won't see these vlogs until I get home. Because like I said, I didn't bring my camera with me, so I'm just going to end this right here. I'm going to see a lot more. So until next time, everybody, I'll see everybody on the next vlog, okay? And I'll see you guys when I get home, okay? Smooches to everybody. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching my vacation vlogs. All right, y'all. Bye.